Morning, everyone. Great to see you. Now, the mic has played up a little bit this morning, so I'm going to stick with the laptop audio. But if at any point you can't hear me, just tell me. I'm sure you'll be fine, because I've got quite a loud projecting voice. So, just like I said, if child's pose isn't comfortable, let's make it comfortable, yeah? So you can just place something between the backs of the legs, yeah? And that creates a lovely little cushion for the sit bones to get to the heels. And then if the floor feels far away, you just bring either your forearms into a little pillow or grab a brick. So get it into a comfortable child's pose. Awesome. And then you have an option with your arms. You can reach them out in front of you, or you can have them down beside you. Yogi's choice. Again, what child's pose feels nice for you this morning? So if the arms are down beside you, hands by the feet, that just allows the shoulders to drop forward and round. If the arms are out in front of you, it just gives you a little bit more length. But we will be reaching the arms forward in a moment. I just want you to settle for a few moments. Make any final adjustments. Before coming to find stillness. Take a moment to relax the face, the jaw. Try and draw the shoulders down the back so they're a little bit more towards the waist. Sit bones nice and heavy on the heels or the support. And wherever you are, just take a nice big breath in and then sigh it out. You're going to do a couple more. Big breath in and then sigh it out. Last one, big deep rich breath in and then just let it go. Nice. So just really allowing yourself to be heavy. And just notice how you're feeling this morning, especially after those sighing breaths. Has that helped you to just soften and surrender to the earth just a little bit more? Child's pose is a really comforting position. Tucking ourselves up a little bit, being close to the ground. There's a feeling of comfort, of grounding. It's a really nice one to just settle in. The torso is kind of either nestling between the thighs, or maybe it's resting on the thighs. But that front part of you is kind of closed and protected. The head is close to the heart. The head and heart are close to the ground. If the hands are down beside you, your hands are close to your feet. So just take a moment here Just notice how you are this morning, how you're feeling. Knowing exactly where you need to be the next part of your morning is just about being with your body, spending some time with yourself. If you haven't already, just start to find the breath. Take a nice long exhale through the nose, and then breathe in for a count of 1, 2, 3. Breathing out for 3, 2, 1. Keep that up. Deep, rich breaths in. Long, slow, steady breaths out. And you can either stay here with your breath, or if you feel ready to move now, we're just going to reach the arms up and out in front of us so that they are reaching forward. And you might ease up a little bit if that feels good, and just kind of move the shoulders a little bit from side to side. It's almost like we're bringing one armpit closer to the earth than the other. And then move your hands over to the right side and get a nice little side stretch in now. So the sit bones are still back, and even more so, the left sit bones really driving back as you reach over to the right. So you've got a nice lateral stretch through the torso. If you're not in child's pose, we'll just do a side stretch so you can be kneeling and just grab hold of the left wrist. Good. Sometimes making a little tent shape with your hands as well gets into the upper back and the shoulder a little bit more. Great. Come back through to centre. Maybe a little bit of movement again before you go over to the other side when you're ready. Again, this time we're really drawing the right sit bone back. We're really reaching the right fingertips up and across, maybe even off your mat. Good. And then when you're ready, back to centre. Start to walk your hands in as you roll up through your spine. See if you can just stack each vertebra nicely. And then come to either a kneeling position, but if your legs are getting a little bit uncomfortable in that deep flexion, you can come to easy seat, and you can even kick the legs out, give them a swish if you need to. But we're staying with a seated position for just a moment longer, kneeling or crossing at the legs. And once you've taken a couple of shoulder rolls, we're going to move into some kind of spinal swirls. Rotation, I don't really like the word rotation because I don't think it is a rotation. I'm going to call them spinal swirls. So if you are on your sit bones, if you are kneeling, it might actually benefit you getting the sit bones a little bit more grounded. I find these a little bit easier in Sukhasana. But again, it's what feels good for you this morning. If you're fine kneeling and doing these, that's fine. I like to have my sit bones quite grounded for these, on a brick or on the earth. And it's almost like we're spiraling from the base of the pelvis, where you're rocking around, almost leaning forwards, backwards, side to side, really feeling the earth through the sit bones. And then that movement is just going to travel up to the waist, maybe to the rib cage. Putting the hands on the knees might help you with the rib cage. And then maybe the shoulders. And you can close your eyes here. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. Just get into the feeling. How is your spine moving this morning? You don't often get moments in life to rotate or to spiral it in this way, unless we're out dancing or something, And if you want, you can get the head involved a little bit by just kind of moving the chin up and down, but just go slowly and gently. Change directions as well. Good, and then when you've had enough of a wiggle there, just bring the arms up above you, take a full body stretch. And we'll just start to take some gentle twists here. So your right hand is going to come forward and your left arm's going to go behind you. And I like to kind of take my hand to the knee. If that feels too far, just put it out in front of you, and then the other hand's going to come behind you. Keep the sit bones grounded, keep the hips pointing forward. Try and move from 2 inches above the waist. Again, you can look to the side if you want. Again, just kind of think about the neck being an extension of your spine. So your gaze can really go where it feels comfortable for you. But more importantly, we're trying to get the shoulders and the chest to face the left side. Now, how's the breath? Are we still breathing? Take one more here. Each inhale, we're trying to lengthen, grow taller. Each exhale, we're getting a little bit more into the twist. Good, back to center. Take a moment, and then we'll go to the other side. So big inhale to reach up. Exhale, float the hands down. Other side. So going over to the right this time. And remember, that front hand, first thing in the morning, over to the knee might feel a little bit much. You can always just place it on a brick in front of you. Brick behind you. We almost want to keep the length, yeah? Sometimes we can be here trying to get into the twists more. I want you to be long in the torso, then twist. Two more breaths. It's almost like you're using your body parts or your props as little levers just to hold you in place. Good. Inhale back to center. One reach up, and then exhale, let's find our way into tabletop. So all fours position. So some more movements here. Cats and cows, yeah? Dipping the belly, rolling the shoulders, lifting the chest and the tailbone, exhaling to do the complete opposite. And undulate through your spine as much as you can, guys. And then if you feel like you want to do more, some little swishes from side to side. So shoulders forwards and backwards, hips, swish. You can even release the feet. I think that helps to get a little bit deeper into these side stretches. You can pause. Again, close the eyes, connect to your spine. You can also do some kind of circles with the rib cage here as well. Awesome. Okay, let's take a melting heart. Let's open through the front of the chest and get a little bit of length into the spine. So you're padding your hands forward as far as feels comfortable, and you're bringing your chin and your chest to the earth. This is more for opening the chest. Remember, if you've got a wall nearby, you can use a wall instead of the earth. Either way, we're just here for a few breaths. Awesome. So when you're ready, we're going to lie on the belly. So come all the way down. Create a little pillow with your forearms for your forehead, and just give the hips a little rock from side to side. So a little bit of movement here and strength into the upper back. So we're just going to do some lifting and lowering. So hands, when you feel ready, come beneath the shoulders. And all you're doing is like a little sit up for your back. So press through the feet, draw up through the thighs, lengthen through the tailbone. So your lower half is really stable and strong. And then we're just moving the upper half of us. So again, from the waist up. And if you can imagine your back muscles contracting to lift you, yeah? Nothing else is lifting you. So go really slowly with these. Again, it's not a movement we do day to day. So it might feel tricky. The breath might feel a little bit difficult here or sticky. It's an inhale to lift up and it's an exhale to come down. Use the hands to support you, but don't push through the hands, yeah? The back muscles doing the work here. See if you can get a little bit higher with each back contraction. Good, and then if it feels okay, maybe you stay up, roll the shoulders back, lift a little higher and reach the fingertips behind you. Thumbs pointing down or thumbs pointing up. I don't mind. You can even clasp the hands together if you want a little bit more through the chest. We're here for 3. Press the tops of the feet down for 2. Good. On 1, release, let it go. I know. It's good, right? Back muscles. Good morning. Okay, we're just going to do 1 more round. So this time we'll come up again. If it feels okay stay. You can also just stick with the lifting and lowering. We're going to get the feet involved this time. So yogi's choice, you can either do 1 leg at a time, or you can do both legs together. Just play around, or you might just want to have a go at the legs on their own, yeah? It's an inhale to lift, it's an exhale to lower. Good, so once you've had a little play, option now for us to lift everything up. So the chest and the feet, and maybe reach the arms. Good, we're here for 5, still nice and long, for 4, for 3, doesn't matter how high you are, for 2, well done, on 1, release, just let it go. Push through the hands and send the hips back. And if you feel ready, we'll come to a downward facing dog. Nice. So just walk out your dog, move your hands, move your feet, move your legs. And if you want a new movement in your downward dog, which incorporates a little bit of twisting, the right hand can reach to the left ankle and the left hand can reach to the right ankle. And you might do that with the breath. You might just do it and hold and see how it feels. Doesn't matter where the hand gets to, it might just get halfway down the mat, might get all the way to grab hold of something. Again, this is a nice twist, it's good and supportive. You've got the grounding of the lower body in downward dog, so equal weight through the heels. And then if you can get hold of the leg, you've got this little lever again to kind of pull you through and under. So those options to take a little twist in your downward dog, just for the final few breaths here before we move. Good. So let's do some of those undulations. We practiced these last week. So on your exhale, hover the knees. You might want to take the stance a little bit longer. I've just moved my feet back a little bit. So hover the knees on your exhale. Extend and kind of shoot forward into a plank on your exhale. On your inhale. And then exhale, knees and hips to wrists. Good. And then we're pushing back through a child's pose, like you're rounding the back and coming up to downward facing dog. So we'll do that again. Hover the knees as you exhale. Push forward as you inhale. Lower the knees, send the hips to the wrists. Inhale, pull through a little bit more, and then exhale, push back. Almost rounding the spine before you lift into length again. If you want a little bit more, you don't have to drop the knees. You can come through to an up dog, but just be mindful of how your back is, how open your front body is. We often talk about back bending, but if you think about it, we're opening up the front body to bend our back. So I like the term opening the front body rather than bending the back, because that's what it is. And if you think about what we do for our lives, we're often closed through the front body. So back bending is very, very, very hard. So just take a few of those ripples and you can kind of start to create them on your own a little bit, but you're basically coming through up dog to down dog and moving the spine as much or as little as you want, rippling forward and rippling back. Take about 5 more, yeah? In your own time, and just exploring your spine. There's no right or wrong way, yeah? You want to get it wavy. It's really hard, you know? Our backs have become very rigid over time. Once you've done your 5, we're going to meet at the top of the mat. If you've got a brick, I recommend you use it, but if not, soften the knees, use your fingertips. And the fingertips are quite far ahead of us, yeah? Think of the length of your spine. I want your wrists under your shoulders, your heels under your hips. And we're just going to twist here. So like we've got a bow and arrow in the right hand, we're pulling it back and lifting up, and then we're doing the same on the left. So it's an inhale to draw up, and it's an exhale to come down. And I want you to almost imagine from the waist down, your legs are set in concrete, yeah? They can't move. You're moving from your thoracic spine, the middle part of your spine. And again, it doesn't matter how deep the twist is, it's just how it feels for you guys. Each inhale, think about the crown of the head to the tailbone being long, and then as you exhale, stacking shoulders. Good, now you can add on a little bit here if you want. So when you draw up one hand, soften into the knees and push up to a standing twist. So you're like scooping and then you're windmilling back down. Just be mindful. You're coming up to stand quite quickly, first thing in the morning. So just go slowly. Focus on the breath. It's an inhale to come up. It's an exhale to windmill down. I take a little extra breath to soften the knees and really push up. Good, take a few more of those. And then, if you haven't come up yet, roll up, because we are going to meet standing now. For a little bit of back bending up here, okay? Or front body opening. It's a little bit more of a longer sentence, isn't it? So feet hip width and parallel, heavy in the heels, switch on the legs, so draw up the thighs, almost activate the glutes, lengthen the tailbone, press the hands into the low back, roll the shoulders, and just start to tease the hips forward. So it's like you're trying to show your hip creases off to the front of the mat. The legs are still strong, and we're just staying here. Now lift through the heart, yeah? Don't let the waist and the rib cage sag down. Find space, length. Don't worry about how far you're going back. Think about lengthening. The hands can stay on the low back. The chin can stay tucked to the chest. The elbows are pointing back. The legs are still strong. The thighs are drawn up. The glutes are switched on. We're here for 3. And you're breathing for 2. Good, on 1 now, contract the tummy muscles to bring you back to center. Good, and just ease it out. We're going to do 1 more, okay? Standing back bend, again, really hard, but really good for you. You've got to get everything right. We don't want any niggles or compression in the low back. So that's strengthening the lower body to support the low back. Right, if you're ready, remember what you know. Press through the feet, draw up the thighs, lengthen the tailbone, switch on the glutes, send the hips forward, And just focus on the hips coming forward first, yeah? The jean pockets, yeah? And then lift through the waist a little bit more, almost like you're trying to pull your heart to the sky. And then you can start to squeeze the shoulders. Then you might take the gaze to the sky. We're here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Good. Contract the tummy muscles, come up slowly on 1. Well done, guys. Okay. We're going to forward fold now as our counter posture. So come down with the hands and grab hold of anything, or your elbows, your big toes, your heels, but we're just allowing the spine to be heavy now. A little dangle. Maybe a little sway from side to side. Nice. Good. Enjoy just letting go here. And then you're going to come to your seat however way feels good for you. So you might just want to cross the ankles and lower yourself down. You can take a little vinyasa if you want, I don't mind. But we're extending the legs forward and coming into a forward fold. So again, find your sit bones, yeah? Really get them down. And then grow from the waist a little bit. Find length, crown of head up to the sky, feet kicking away. And then you're just going to come forward as far as you can. Now, we don't want this to happen. We want to keep the length of the spine. So think about the shoulders being back and down, and you're hinging forward from the waist. Grab hold of whatever's available. If there's not much available, then just stay where you are. You've also got the option to use like a strap or a bit of a towel or something around the feet. Just grab hold of that to help you. Because I do think when you've got something to hold on to, it just helps you to pull a little bit, yeah, but without compromising the position of the spine. So whatever you've got, lengthen on the inhale, ease forward on the exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. You've got 3 more here. Good, let's do 1 more. Great, so before we finish, let's open up the front body just 1 more time. So fingertips point to the sit bones and the hands come behind you. Option 1 is bend the knees, plant the feet and lift up. Yeah? If it's too much to hold, you can lift and lower. Option 2, a little bit harder, is legs straight, feet together, toes point. We're just going to hold for 5 breaths. So wherever you are, lifting up into your reverse tabletop or your reverse plank. Really switching on the back body to lift you up. Really setting the hips, the chest, everything to the sky. For 3, stay with me. For 2, good, on 1, slowly come down. Nice. Let it go. Okay, let's come back to where we started. Maybe a little bit of movement through the spine. Notice how you're feeling now. Sit tall, give yourself a shoulder roll and just close down the eyes. Take a few grounding breaths. It's easy to be off your mat already as you get towards the end of your practice. You know, you're in the kitchen making your cup of tea in your head or tidying around, starting your day, but just take a moment to really think about the next thoughts, words and actions you're going to take this Friday morning. Try to let them be ones of gratitude, of kindness, Take your practice off your mat. Be kind to your body. Be kind to yourself, and then that kindness will inevitably shine towards other people. Chin to chest, little bow down. Big thank you to everyone for joining this morning. Let's have some gratitude for our fellow yogis and for the day ahead. Well done, everyone. Happy Friday. Have a good one. And I'll see you tomorrow for 8:30. We'll go back to strength and it will be the core. Yay. Thanks, guys. Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks
Bye.
for being
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.